Welcome, my chingus, to episode 57 of This Week in K-Pop. In this episode, we will talk about IU and Seotaiji, Ji-Eun, Raina, Red Velvet, Roy Kim, Zion.T, and more. My name is Steven.
And I'm Josh.
And This Week in K-Pop is a discussion podcast that covers the last 2 or sometimes more weeks of K-pop music video releases.
Depending how long we delay actually doing the podcast.
Yeah, usually there's a pretty good reason why we delay recording. I think this week was, we had gone to Seoul on Saturday.
Yep.
We usually record on Sundays, and I was just too darn tired.
Yeah,
tired.
I think you're feeling a little bit sick also, if I remember correcectly.
Yeah, I just kind of want to sit naked at home and kind of rest.
Yeah.
So we couldn't record on Sunday, but we're recording today. It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Usually, if we're late, we usually record like Monday or Tuesday, but
yeah.
It's Wednesday.
It just kind of compounded. But thank you for dealing with us. We're pretty bad at keeping a schedule. I always promise to be better at it, but whoops.
At least we're within the area of 2 weeks-ish.
We're close. Now, if this is your first episode, normally it's every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Usually released on Sunday, but sometimes it's after that.
It used to be every week.
It used to be every week.
So
but that was because the quality of songs didn't actually lend very well to a 1 week kind of.
And we ended up having to say really, really mean things about bands that people like.
Yeah, but don't worry, because we're still going to say some bad things today.
Yeah, don't you worry.
But usually, let's start with the good things, because Josh and I usually pick the best song of the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
And this week, I'm going to choose a song that I think is pretty good, but if there was a word to categorize the last 2 weeks, it would be ballad.
Ballads, because if I was a shut-in, didn't go out, stayed in my room all day.
Like, me.
Like Steven, and I wanted to know, is it cold outside? Is it winter yet? I would just go look at K-pop. How many ballads have come out this week? More than 50% ballads? Must be getting pretty cold.
Yeah.
Must be getting pretty cold.
Yeah, there was an insane amount of ballads, and while I'm not a huge ballad person.
No.
There were a lot of ballads that were okay. It's just that, this is a K-pop podcast. We didn't want to cover too many ballads. So we want to start with the opposite of that, which is by a girl named Ji-Eun from Secret, and her song 25. Now,
예쁜 나이 25살.
Yes, pretty something 25.
Yeah, pretty age 25, which is supposedly like this is the time where girls look their prettiest, like their mid-20s. And this song is about that.
True.
That's true. What Korean people say.
Is that a thing? Like a Korean thing, or she just made this up for?
No, that's a Korean thing. Korean people think that you look the prettiest, I think, in your early 20s to late 20s.
Oh, but supposedly. Not exactly 25. She's just
saying like 25.
Because I'm 25, and so the prettiest time is now. Is what
you're not 25, but yeah.
I wish I was 25.
You're 63, Steven.
Well, I look pretty good there for 63.
Or you look like you're 63.
Wow. But anyways, I picked this song because when I first heard it, I was like, this has got to be a Brave Sound song. It's been a while since we've heard a Brave Sound song, actually. And I was really into it. I really like the saxophone beats.
Yeah.
Turns out, though, not a Brave Sound song.
Yeah, but it is a double sidekick song.
It is a double sidekick song.
And double sidekick loves that saxophone-y, like,
he does.
Too.
But he definitely, or they, because double sidekick is a they. It's like a whole team. Which is why, by the way, they usually can make much more like diverse sounding songs because they actually have a lot of people on their team.
Yeah.
Unlike Brave Sound, who's just one dude.
Brave Brothers.
Or Brave Brothers.
It's just one dude.
It's one dude. His name's Brave Brothers, but he's just one dude. Anyways, so this is a double sidekick song, but double sidekick hasn't really been doing it for me recently. I mean, he's released a lot of songs in the last 2 months.
I mean, besides like recently, Bestie had a few good Double Psychic songs. Like "Thank You Very Much" was a Double Psychic song, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I was talking about
like within the past,
than that,
within the past 2 or 3 podcasts maybe.
Yeah,
yeah.
But there's that time where after Saywall or whatever, that he had 3 songs in the same week come out.
Psychic. And they're all different artists. And we didn't really like any of them.
Yeah, so it's been a while. But I really, really like this song. Now, I don't know if I like it because it's so brave sounding. But I just thought in a week of a lot of ballads, I just really like the beat mainly.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And her voice is great.
Yeah.
But again, like we talked about in our last podcast, that the best thing about Brave Sound is that you don't have to necessarily be a good singer for that song to be good.
So, I mean, I'm with you, Steven. This song, in my mind, I also thought it was a Brave Sound song. And it just kind of was different from the rest, I guess. I think that's why I kind of like it, so...
Yeah, and it's kind of following the trend now of really bright colors,
like pastels.
Yeah, not sure if it was a Digipedi music video or not, but
it very could have.
Could be.
Could have been, yeah.
And sometimes I actually forget. Like it's weird. I think I mentioned this before when we heard Secret's songs, but like in my mind, Secret's been around for a very long time.
Same.
But they actually haven't been around for an insane, like they haven't been around since like Girls' Generation.
Yeah, they haven't hit
period.
They haven't hit like the super old like level of girl groups, right?
Yeah.
But they're kind of like the beast level of oldness. Like they're hitting that 5-year mark, right?
Which is weird because I always associated them as being older. So when I heard that Ji-Eun was 25, I was like, they can't be right. No. I always thought she was maybe 28, 29. I'm an idiot. They're actually all pretty young.
Yeah, I think the oldest person's like 27.
Yeah, they're all younger than I thought. Because when they debuted, like they kind of had like the older, sexier charm to them. Mm-hmm. Then they quickly reverted to cuteness. But I don't know. I really like this song 1,000 times more than Ji-Eun's the one from last week. What is it called? Don't look back.
Don't look at me that something that way. Don't look at me that way.
Maybe.
Don't look at me. I don't know. Last week was just like with the titles. Like somebody was trying to send an SOS message to us. They're like, "Help! Don't touch me." One title was "Call the police."
Yeah.
I live at so and so address, and we're like, these are strange titles.
It's like
please help me, Steven and Josh. And we're like, huh. But this music video, though,
it's just kind of a generic. I mean, it's just her looking pretty. I mean, this outfit's kind of strange.
And
she's
her
got
eating
the
flowers and
yeah, but the videos. I mean, it's okay. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's okay.
And that's all I have to say. But you also
maybe you're desensitized to it.
But I mean, I don't know why you would on this. I mean, every video is like
super
this.
Generic. Yeah, that's what it is.
But I thought she looks really great in this.
She does. She's a very attractive woman.
And I do like the colors though. I really do like the colors.
Because it draws your attention.
Yeah. And there's been kind of we mentioned in the last podcast that a lot of MVs are starting to really hype up the cut. And while there's a decent amount of cuts, like a normal amount of cuts in here, like I'm like I can see her face. I know exactly what she looks like. It's not just like so.
I think the cuts in this one, why it's less drastic in my mind, is because they're not total scene cuts. Mm-hmm. Like if it's a cut, they're zooming in or they're zooming out. Or they're moving from like one perspective to another perspective, like in the same kind of shot or scene. So it's not too like
not crazy.
Yeah,
jarring.
It's not too jarring.
It's not like flashing lights everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Well, that's my best song of the last 2 weeks. I hope you agree. Maybe you don't agree. If it's a boy group that you think is the best song, we'll talk about those in the lightning round.
Yeah, we'll talk about those in the lightning round.
All right, well, let's move on to the second video. What is it?
So our next song is by a rookie group called Red Velvet with Be Natural. Red Velvet, obviously the new girl group from SM.
So much has happened since they debuted, though. It's like, it feels like a long time ago, but it hasn't
been overshadowed,
really
right?
Yeah.
So this song was actually a remake, right, of SS501, I think. Was that?
I thought it was an SES one. I thought it was an SES.
SES, yeah. It was one of the older.
Really old, late 90s.
Yeah.
You know.
Like one of the first wave. The first wave of K-pop, I would say.
Yeah. And you know what? It definitely sounds like an old, kind of porno sounding 90s song. I didn't like the song at all. I thought the song was a super weird choice, especially after Happiness.
It's like a 180 if you think about in terms of style.
And I get it. It's like, I mean, I understand you don't want to do the same thing over and over again, but it is very strange in the K-pop world to do a 180 so quickly.
Yeah. People definitely question it when they see it. If you go from super aegyo-y, pastels, which was Happiness kind of was, to this more quote unquote mature, a little bit more sultry kind of sounding,
Yeah. But I will say, especially with SM's troubles recently, I don't really understand their backing of this group. This group is supposed to be the next generation of girl groups. Yeah. But I don't really think they're giving that much to them.
Yeah, they're not.
It's really strange. And that shows, I think, partially in this video. I'm of two minds on this video. The first thing is, actually, it is not aping, but they definitely use the growl cameraman. But I think they did a good job. I think, especially the beginning, the first half, where it's all one shot or looks like all one shot. It looks really good. It highlights their dancing, which Happiness didn't really do.
Yeah.
I thought the dance was actually, pretty good.
I thought it was really good. Yeah.
I thought it could especially a lot of their moves could really look really goofy and weird, but I thought they pulled it off decently well.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate this camera style. I'm sure I'll get sick of it if they keep using it over and over and over and over again. But I cannot emphasize how much I love it when there's not many cuts. That increases the overall level of an MV so much when you can see what's going on, you can see their faces, you can see everything. I don't like their choice in backdrop because they're in the same house.
Super generic.
Right. They're in the same house. There were 2 music videos just the last 2 weeks that used this exact same house.
Yeah. If you guys follow Eat Your Kimchi, right? This is what Mr. Brouhaha's, right?
Yeah. Well, I thought that was the
stone
brick wall thing.
Yeah, brick wall.
But it's the same thing. It's this is the exact same place. And Stellar had their music video. This is the exact same place. Just this week, there's a Yonha video in the same place. It's just you're SM. I know when they want to build something, it's always a box set. But you can be more creative than just calling up generic MV hotline and be like, we need a place. You got a place? We got a place.
It's that place that we always use. Yeah. Let's go.
It's this is the place where no offense, but this is the place where all the C tier, F tier entertainment groups use. This is for the groups that start with nothing, which is fine because that's all they can afford. That makes sense to me. But when SM needs to use this generic background, it's just
come on, SM, you have more money than that.
What do you do? Well, I guess not anymore.
Yeah, they're just taking it. We'll talk about that later. But for me, what I felt was the best about this song was kind of highlighted pretty well. The choreography, a lot of times if you use props, it'll look really kind of awkward or janky. And you really, really, really have to practice to be able to use them in a kind of convincing manner. And a lot of, I think Seulgi and Wendy, or 2 of them were part of SM Rookies, or maybe all of them were.
I think 3 of them were.
Yeah, maybe there were a lot of them from SM Rookies, and they released teasers of them chair dancing, I guess. And you can tell they practiced it a long time. And the choreography is really good. And I do have to say the outfits are really, really sexy in my opinion. When I saw them, I was like, oh, those are really, really nice. These girls are super attractive. I like this style more than let's just show everything, right? If a girl is wearing a outfit that looks really good, really suits the style and the kind of point that they're trying to portray, I feel it looks better Because most girls, surprisingly, will be more confident wearing something like this than just showing all their business, right? Not all girls are confident in showing, their bodies and being really revealing. And really, the confidence does come through, and I can kind of feel a sort of confidence coming from this type of outfit for them, right? That they don't really have to take off too much to be considered sexy, and I like that.
I mean, I agree with everything you said in theory.
But you don't find it as sexy.
I didn't find this very sexy. Yeah. I felt like their dance movements were not sexy dance movements.
Even the hair flip, man. When they all hair flip, that was really nice.
No, I mean, I think their dancing was great. I just didn't think any of the dancing was very sexy. Now, part of that might be because, in Happiness, they're like little teenage cheerleaders. And it's like too quick for me to divorce that view from them.
I tried to burn that out of my mind when I was watching this.
But I thought they had a lot of confidence, but and I like their dancing because that's really the only thing that's great about this. But it was not sexy. Like I would not watch that and ever be like, that's a little sexy. But I agree. What is sexy though is these outfits were really nice.
Yeah.
And maybe. In 2 years or 3 years, I could be like, damn girls, like I'm down with that,
I think sexy, the way I mean it, not in the sense of everybody's, how guys kind of think of sexy, you know what I'm saying? Like guys kind of are just like visual boobs.
Like, I want to have sex with you.
Yeah. Like the way I consider sexy is that they're confident. That's what I want to say. Confident.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I can agree on that. But... I really do worry about SM's future.
Yeah, they've got really almost nothing.
As we will talk about, of course, with the big EXO news. But I mean, it's worrisome. It's definitely worrisome.
Yeah.
And we didn't mention that this song features another SM rookie, one of the guys.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you think about that guy?
His rapping was pretty terrible.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Okay, I don't want to say like awful. I mean, it wasn't like Ice JJ Fish, right?
Yeah. God damn.
But like it was so. I mean, it matched the '90s style. I don't know if he did it like old school shitty, like the '90s style on purpose, because it is a '90s era, like early 2000s K-pop song.
It reminded me of like God old school rapping.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the era that
yeah.
SES was part of, if it is SES. So I don't know if he did it on purpose or he's just really not
a good rapper.
But the thing is, like SM, I don't think has any good rappers. I mean maybe I don't know.
Let me think about this.
Yeah, no.
None.
And this is the era of the rapper. Every single boy group is going for that image now.
Yeah.
And every boy group now has not like one rapper anymore. They have like 6 rappers.
Yeah, and some groups are made because they have a rapper.
Right. So it's weird to me that SM is not noticing this trend and YG is going to ram that trend home. Or groups like BTS are going to catch up and SM might be in trouble because they will debut a boy group soon. I would think they got these dude rookies, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Who knows? Moving on then to the next song, and this is probably the biggest song in Korea of the ones we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
And that's a song. It's IU and Seotaiji with their song Sogyeokdong. I said that really not good. Say it right.
Actually, that's pretty...
Oh, that was pretty good?
Sogyeokdong.
Sogyeokdong. All right, yeah. It's
pretty accurate, actually, Steven.
I'm the best. Now, this song was made by Seotaiji, who is, if you don't know, to use Josh's thing. No, Josh's thing is, you probably know, but if you don't know, Seotaiji is like an old school. He's the guy that supposedly modernized K-pop.
Yeah, he is like... I would call him the K-pop Jesus.
He's like the beginning of K-pop, modern K-pop. He's a very, very important guy in Korea.
Like all the people, I'm guessing in their 20s or older, they should know who he is. Even if they don't know a certain song by him, if they hear like his sound, they can pretty much associate like his style or his sound from certain songs.
Yeah, he kind of started like the electronic-y kind of sound. Yeah. And he had a group, it was Seotaiji and the Boys, which YG was a part of. Mm-hmm. And that's how YG got famous and started his label, and which is now the #1 label, according to Monies. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so he recruited IU for this song, Sogyeokdong. He also released his own version of the song.
Yeah.
But the IU one's the one that was released first and was the one that kind of blew up the charts.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the song?
So we're just starting from the song.
Sure.
This is like nothing I've ever heard coming like out of K-pop. Mm-hmm. Like this is kind of like indie in a sense of K-pop, but it's indie in a sense that everybody will like it kind of deal. The way I kind of like to attribute it is in the States, in a lot of places, like Death Cab for Cutie was really like popular indie, but it was an indie band that like everybody liked kind of feeling. And this is the kind of feeling I get from this song. When I first heard it, I thought, oh, IU's voice is good, but it really won't match well with like Seotaiji's kind of style. Mm-hmm. And actually, it matches very well. IU kind of surprised me with her kind of vocal style. Mm-hmm. It's still very IU sounding, but it's not like the IU of,
It's not like the modern times
IU or like the IU that we know.
Definitely not the original.
Yeah,
the IU.
The 3-note IU, right?
Yeah.
But her voice matches the song really, really well. Kind of adds a little bit of creepiness and ghostness to the song, which I think it kind of really needed. Yeah.
I actually think his voice, Seotaiji's voice, actually is better. Like I kind of like his version a little better than IU's. But I both of them have this. I don't know if it's a problem, but it's definitely like a feature of the song, which is the vocals are actually very muted compared to the background music.
Yes.
And to me, like it's the background electronic-y kind of like, I think that I told you I think this is a great song for when you're high or you're taking some ecstasy.
Just drop some mollies.
Because like it's really kind of like out, kind of flowy song. If you didn't hear this song, you probably have no idea what I mean. But if you listen to it, I think you'll understand what I mean by it. It's a very flowy, kind of esoteric, like kind of song. And I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was a bad song at all. It's definitely not my type of song. I like the Brave Brothers. Yeah. I like the
you like
catchy
the happier, upbeat things,
yeah. But I definitely don't think it's it's a bad song.
Yeah.
I definitely understand why Korean people like it. I mean, it's got IU, which everyone loves here. It's got Seotaiji, which is like a legend here. Yeah. And it's got this kind of ballady, kind of slow, I can only assume the lyrics mean something deep.
Yeah.
And that's how you make a hit in Korea.
But actually, there's a big story actually behind like there's like a history lesson behind this music video. So Sogyeokdong is like was kind of like a militarized kind of area that Seotaiji apparently was raised like in this dong, this like neighborhood. And it's really famous. Like there's a part in this music video, right now, where they have this kind of like air raid siren. Mm-hmm. And around that time, like it was really really important that like the government kind of control its people kind of deal. And they were saying like, oh yeah, we want to be pro-democracy, so anybody who's like against democracy, we're gonna like,
get got.
We're gonna talk to them. But it's kind of like, that's fascism. Your democracy, like you're a fascist, like government going around as
Korea
democracy,
was,
right? Yeah, this is
doing well. They were not a
yeah. So this was at times where things were like changing in Korea, like going from a little bit more older school. Yeah, there were a lot of tumultuous times, and so the air raid siren was kind of a curfew. That was like, okay, everybody go back to your homes, be quiet, turn off your lights. But during that time, the government kind of paid students to kind of rat each other out. And so, like, during that time, they would, like, go in and get these, like, college protesters and, like, torture them or, like, beat them or kill them, kidnap them. And, like, that was the curfew siren time was the time where they go out and grab them. And so this music video has this boy and this girl, And this girl, obviously, I think is part of the college protesting group. And the boy, he has those uniforms because I think he's a part of the Rat You Out committee. And so she writes him a letter that says, okay, when the curfew and the lights go out, come find me. And he goes and tries to find her, and she's gone. So that's the story that's here.
All right, that was a breathtaking rendition of that story.
And so later on, in the Seotaiji version, the guy comes back and, sits where IU's sitting right now. If you're watching our video version, kind of reminiscing about the past. So,
yeah, for me, I didn't give a shit, but
I thought it was really interesting.
I mean, I think that history lesson's very interesting. Sort of. But I thought, the music video, like you said, we watched both versions. Like, we have no idea what's going on. Granted, we're not well versed in Korean history, Maybe a Korean person definitely would be like, oh shit, I know what that is.
I know exactly.
Like if we
you
saw,
say Sogyeokdong, I know Sogyeokdong.
Yeah. But for us, I was just like, whatever. It was like, sometimes I really like drama things, but sometimes there's a reason I don't watch certain Korean dramas because they're like a little too far up its own asshole.
They're a little bit trying to be too artsy for their own good.
Yeah, and then you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I thought this one was kind of like that, but, IU's pretty.
IU's pretty. The song's good.
Yeah.
Cinematography is pretty well put together as well.
True. It looked like a kind of a Korean indie-ish movie. Like it had all those trappings. But usually I only watch those when they involve murderers or like ghosts.
Or bed scenes, Stephen.
Korea doesn't make those.
In movies they do.
I know they do, but I don't watch them.
Because you can't understand Korean.
Well, we can get subtitles. But yeah, there was that big movie recently. We had like 3 K-pop stars, and they were all. It was a racy movie. It was like a
K-pop stars.
Yeah,
like old.
No, one was like from 9 Muses, I think, and then one was like even older than that. One was even older than that.
That's the first time I've heard about that.
It was all over all K-pops and the Korea boos and the Reddit sizzes. But definitely the 9 Muse girl does get naked apparently in that movie, so a lot of people went to watch it.
I see. I went to watch that movie Scarlet Innocence.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's about like this professor and this student, and they have this adulterous affair.
Yeah, buddy.
I saw it. I understood
Was there
maybe
any
40%. Oh yeah, there's a lot of nakedness in
sweet. It's weird. Actually, it is really weird. Kind of the okayness with nakedness and it's weird.
In movies. Yeah,
it's weird. Yeah, my girlfriend would love to watch Korean movies with me, but since I don't understand zero, I would understand nothing. She can't go with me.
Sorry.
And then I drag her to American movies, and then all the movies I love, she hates.
I'm sorry.
And all the movies I hate, she loves.
I'm sorry.
But such is life.
Such is life.
Such is life. But seriously, if she hates Avengers 2, I will fucking divorce her. Okay? I will.
She's not watching this.
I will just destroy her.
I've
already told her that. I've already told her that. I was like, if you don't like Avengers 2, we're gonna have a problem. All right? Like, you already didn't like Captain America. Like,
well, that's right. She
already
did, right?
We're kind of on edge. She didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy either. But that I understand, because that's really not a super international
It's really pop
kind of
culture-y, that movie.
Anyways, we got sidetracked. Let's move on to the middle part of our podcast, where we want to thank everybody for listening or watching, if you're watching the YouTube version. We want to thank all the people that listened to our call and wrote us an iTunes review. And this week, or this episode, we got one person who wrote us a review, and that is a person named Mr. Sri.
Mr. Sri.
Yes, so you're a guy. It's made it easy for me, because sometimes I don't really know if you're a guy or not, or a girl, so it's a little hard. Now he says, great, up-to-date podcast that favors funny over fan gushy. I love it. And we want to say, I love you.
Yeah, thanks for leaving a review for one, and leaving us some kind words also.
Yep. That's everything we want, We're one of the only ones that update, so we want more iTunes reviews if you can. If you haven't listened to the podcast yet, if you haven't written a review yet, because there's a lot of you guys. If you can, write a review, leave whatever rating you think is appropriate, but just having more reviews really helps with finding our podcast and searching for our podcast.
Even if you leave like a 1-star review, if you tell us like, oh, I don't like these guys because they don't like boy groups as much and they're kind of biased, then okay, I mean, that's your opinion also. So
preferably a 3-star review would be okay. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't know, but we're going to. I actually didn't pre-tell you this.
Pre-tell me?
Yeah.
Huh?
You know what? I hate to be teasy, but I think we'll talk about it next episode. But we have some things that will probably happen soon.
Oh, those things.
Yeah, we have 2 things.
Yeah, those 2 things.
One thing, I hope to Bajibis, I hope to Seotaiji, that I can announce it soon.
Yeah,
but,
I know exactly which one you're talking about, and I hope so too.
Yeah. But anyways, we're going to talk about some of the news, because there was a lot of news that happened the last 2 weeks. Last episode, of course, we had Jessica leaving Girls' Generation.
Yeah.
And since recording that episode, we actually didn't get that much more information.
Yeah.
It was still a lot of he said, she said.
It's classic SM, right?
Which sucks. I kind of hope there'd be one more thing, but really, it's just no one backed down. It was like, it's your fault, and Jessica was like, it's your fault. And we're still there.
That makes me sad. That makes me sad.
And then, SM stock was not doing so good. After Jessica left.
It was not.
YG was already like, fuck yes! And of course, SM had other bad news. Luhan of EXO also did the same thing that Chris, which was he filed a lawsuit to terminate his contract.
Nullify it.
So Luhan is pretty much out.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of rumors saying the other... I almost said Mexican because of SM. XOM.
Yeah.
But the other Chinese members are rumored to also probably do the same thing. But that's not here yet.
Yeah.
And then, SM.
Seriously, SM, what's going on, guys?
I mean, when Chris left, and I mean, as far as we know, there were no major repercussions for him leaving. Like, he didn't have to pay a giant ass fine.
Yeah.
Like, what's holding back any of the other Chinese members from doing so?
Yeah.
And that came true, right?
Yeah.
Luhan was like, peace, I'm out.
Yeah.
So
and I called it. I knew it was going to be Luhan because Luhan had like a slew of like health issues. Like he was sick for a really long time, or he fainted apparently like a couple times. And I was like, okay, SM, I guess they saw Chris leaving EXO and were like, oh, EXO's fine still. Yeah. They have still a lot of fans. We can just continue on. And now Luhan's leaving, and possibly other EXO M members. But they should have learned their lesson with Super Junior and Hangen. He was a Chinese member, and then he was being treated kind of unfairly, and so he was like, deuces. Yeah. And Chris, we don't know obviously the whole story behind that, but Chris was unhappy, and SM was like, no. And Chris said, deuces. And now Luhan is unhappy.
Yeah. And I think Luhan realized that. Because when you're a Korean-born star, once you say deuces, your opportunities
are deuces.
is
are deuced.
Not completely gone, but pretty much gone.
Yeah,
right?
You're pretty much a black sheep now in entertainment business.
But when you're a Chinese member, you're just like, deuces to Korea. I'm going to go to China. We got 1 billion people. And we're already super crazy popular.
EXO is super crazy popular.
Like, why? We actually don't need that. So it makes a lot more sense for the Chinese members to snip that cord. Now, I've heard a lot of things about now. I think a lot of agencies are going to be more weary about multicultural groups, because that was the big thing for many years, is to get a couple Chinese members in there. It really helps with your Chinese debuting and whatever. But
or maybe Japanese members, right?
Yeah. So maybe they'll stop that, now that they're seeing what's going on with these. Because I heard that Chinese, specifically China, in contracts, it's much easier to get out of things because China has a completely different kind of like law system than most civilized countries, which is that it's really archaic and you can get away with a lot of things.
Yeah. And the surprising thing is it's that SM, like, they're just kind of taking the punches. They're not really doing anything about anything. Yeah. Like, if you look about all the scandals that happened this past year of Chris, Luhan, Jessica, Sully. They kind of just are like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Like Jessica was like, hey yo, why are you kicking me out? And SM was like, we're not kicking you out. You want to leave. Oh, by the way, you're still part of SM. Whatever, right? Like a conflict.
I'm not gonna go with that whatever for that. They were very specifically like, no, girl, you're the one that done fucked up. Yeah, no. We set up an agreement,
right? So what's really confusing to me is in that, right? Like for Jessica to be like, it's your fault, it's the company's fault, and the company to be like, no, it's your fault. You want to leave. Like, why is she still signed under SM? That to me, that is SM being like, whatever, we need the money.
Like, I mean, but they didn't like. They didn't let Sully off her. I mean, Sully's still part of SM for all intents and purposes. Like, the only time I think...
that's pretty whatever. Like...
That's not whatever. That's the only times they cut off contact was when they got fucking sued. They weren't like, oh, Chris, you can leave. It was like, no, they got sued. Like, same with the JYJ, same with... Or DBSK, same with, I mean...
So, unless you sue, SM's not going to do anything.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, but that makes sense. Like, Why would they? I mean, okay. I don't want to. What I'm trying to say is, for your point, I think that's a little strange. But I do agree that I feel like they should be doing more to counteract this. Like,
I think whatever is not the good word that we want to use. SM.
We didn't use that word. No, only you
used that word. That's why I used that word.
No.
But SM is kind of they're not really proactive unless they're being kind of lit on fire.
Okay, I mean, I can kind of get behind that, which is like, I would hope, especially after all this, like maybe they would, take everybody's schedule and lower it by 80%. Yeah. Now I do understand you have contracts set up, you probably can't do that right away, but even if it's some stupid BS PR junk, at least try to come out with some bullshit thing.
That's what I'm trying to say, right?
We're here's a tour of our SM offices and with the daily schedule of one of our artists, or like a reality show, quote unquote, that like follows the daily life. But
they have those reality shows though, like. They have it of EXO. They have it of like Jessica did one of Crystal. And
but they don't have reality shows with the specific intent to be like, this is a transparent, quote unquote, transparent view of what the daily schedule life. Yeah. Those reality shows, from what I've seen, are like, or like they have they have a different goal in mind?
Yeah, definitely a different goal. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like SM, they're not doing anything at all. They're just kind of like taking their lumps, right? When they're not doing anything PR-wise, right?
Sure.
They're just kind of releasing their own statement, which they kind of have to do, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. They're not like, doing any sort of other PR kind of boosting things to make themselves look better. Like,
yeah. But like, for example, though, when Chris left, when Sully stepped down, even, their stock was doing okay. Which is what they're primarily concerned with as a company, right? Yeah. We talked about their money motherfuckers, right?
Yeah.
And then when Jessica left, their stock tanked. And now that Luhan's gone, their stock tanked even worse.
Yeah.
Now YG I actually don't know if it's still true right now, but at the time where it tanked, YG overtook them, which is a big deal in Korea because they, even though they're the big two, SM was still making a lot more money. So maybe now that their stock has dipped so low, they actually really have to do something.
You might see some PR stunt by SM.
Yeah. But
do some things, you don't know.
I fully think before 2014 is over, I'm going to assume the other three, the other four EXO Chinese members.
Yeah, EXO members. They're probably going to be, probably going to be leaving as well.
But of course, same thing after Chris left, and you were like, man, it's kind of bullshit how nobody was standing with him, right?
And that was but everybody's with Luhan on this one, right?
Well, no, I thought there were a lot of things that were like, no, we're EXO's 10 forever now. Like, they were all eating together, and like, although I did read one of the XOM guys was like, Luhan, thanks, bro, like,
I hope everything goes well.
Yeah. But then, when Chris left, it was like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, they were like, that dude was a traitor. Yeah. We hate that dude. Well, I think at that time, like, he quit right before they were having like this really, really big showcase. And
it really fucks them up.
It really fucks up. Like, EXO's kind of quiet, quote unquote, right now. So,
Well, on other sad news, and I mean not as big of a sad news, but it's still kind of sad news.
Yeah.
Which is it's only been confirmed. One member of M Black.
M Black.
Is definitely, he did it the right way though. Mm-hmm. He said, it's time to renew our contract.
I'm not going to renew.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm out. And he did that. What's his name?
Ji-Eun?
Yes.
Ji-Eun? I can't remember.
I think it's Ji-Eun.
Yeah.
Man, I really should have looked that up again.
But I can't really blame him because he was doing really, really hot in the acting world.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And M Black has been like silently pushed into the death corner.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what the label is. It's Rain's Rain's label, but then he left. What is it?
J-Tune?
J-Tune! There it is, yeah. J-Tune. Now, of course, they have a new boy group, which we'll talk about in our lightning round. But, of course, Thunder is also rumored to also leave, too, and not renew his contract.
So they're probably going to continue with 3.
I don't know, man. No guy groups really go 3 now. Or they'll bring in new members. I mean, M Black's not gigantic enough, I think, that, they can't bring in. I mean, Kara can bring in a new member, right? Like, M Black can bring a new member. But it's kind of sad. Like, I actually, there were some M Black songs I really liked.
Yeah.
I really, especially, like, when you compare them to workhorses like BAP, who released, like, 5 MVs a year. M Black was getting like 1 a year.
Yeah.
And they weren't really.
Smoky Girl.
Smoky Girl's a good song.
Smoky Girl.
Smoky Girl's a good
Smoky
song.
Girl. Smoky Girl. Smoky Girl. Smoky Girl. Smoky Girl. That was the chorus. Smoky Girl.
Thank you.
It's not done yet.
It's not done.
Smoky Girl. Smoky Girl. Okay, I'm done.
All right. Thank you. But of course, that still is not the end of the news.
Still not.
Just a couple of days ago, what happened?
So, actually, we didn't talk about this beforehand, but Seungmin from Super Junior was rumored to be in a relationship with this actress, and they confirmed it. And now, I think a couple weeks later or a month later, he's getting married. He's getting married. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny, the reaction of fans.
Super Junior fans are the worst, man.
I wouldn't say the worst, but they're really
the worst.
But they're really strange. So the international Super Junior, like elves, I think they're what they're called. They're happy. They're like, oh, finally they're getting married. They're at that marrying age. Like I thought, half of them were like, swinging for the other side.
Sure.
But apparently the Korean elves, they're just like, no, we want this Chingu out now. He is not part of Super Junior anymore. He's a betrayer. Like, this dude needs out. Like, we don't want this guy no more. And that's kind of, that really hurts if I was Seungmin. Like, he came out.
To be betrayed like that.
Yeah, fans are fickle. People are fickle. They just want you for your product. They want you for your services.
Yeah.
And if they can't think, oh, Seungmin, someday we can get married, or I'll have your baby or something. If that's not possible, then they're like, deuces, Chingu. Pretty much.
Yeah. It's really sad that, that dude's old. I mean, he's like 28 or 27. Yeah, like, he's not
he should be
25 or 24, right? Like, that's marriage time, even though it's called Super Junior, they're old. Some of those dudes are pretty old now.
Yeah. Half of them are done with like their military service, so
yeah. I mean, I think it definitely, again, like this, it was not them admitting this. It was because it got leaked and they got called out. The girls' agency actually said that's not true. And then like
Seungmin was like, a couple hours later, I have a date.
Yeah, a couple hours later, it's like, actually, we're getting married. It's in December. It's actually really quick. Sorry guys. So that looks bad, and again, same old SM. Like, there could have been a way for them to
spin this off
in a positive way for both parties.
But they just sat out their stupid SM asses and
just
took their lumps. They just took their lumps.
I talked about this with my girlfriend, and it's just like Korean reporters. When I say reporters, I mean like the tabloid people are finally starting to adopt American kind of practices and tactics. Like, really, truly, like 5 or 6 years ago, the reason why there weren't that many of these things going on was because Korean reporters actually really respectful. Like they wouldn't like invade your privacy like crazy and follow you in the middle of the night and do all sorts of shit. But now they do, and
that's why you could date in secret beforehand. But now,
yeah. So a lot of people are like, oh shit, 2014 is like the death year, and it's like, I mean, yeah, a lot of shit happened in 2014, but a lot of that is because Korean tabloid people are
up in their game.
And because, like, you know, there's so many things, like, you see these pictures, they're, like, not even really hiding. You know, like, you see pictures of Suli and Choiza, and it's not like they're really hiding that
like
much.
GD and, like, Kiko.
Yeah. Like, they're not really hiding very well. And you know, an American tabloid dude would have got you, like
years ago. Years ago.
He would have caught you, like, having sex, like, doing some naughty shit. But, you know... So before people are like, oh my god, I want 2014 to be over, 2015 is going to be better. It's probably not going to be better. And if it will get better, that's because K-pop stars are finally realizing maybe we should be more careful.
Yeah.
But yeah, SM, what are you doing?
Get it together, SM. God damn.
What are you doing?
Shit.
But yeah. You know, we didn't talk about it, but there were also a couple other groups that disbanded. I think one was like Kiss and Cry disbanded.
Yeah, that was pretty sad.
They had just debuted, but they had a lot of promise, I thought.
Yeah, same.
There was another group, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
You're right. Who was it?
I don't know.
If you know, let us know, because it's hard for us to remember everything.
Yeah.
So,
but either way, you know, there's still 2.5 months left in 2014.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for. Let's see. EXO's been taking care of Super Junior. Something bad happened to him. Girls' Generation.
Big Bang kind of has a thing going on right now with GD.
Well, I'm talking about SM. Well,
SM. Okay.
Is there any other group in SM
Shiny.
that can get fucked? Oh,
Shiny is next.
Something's got to happen with Shiny. One of those dudes is gay.
Key is definitely gay.
Like, that's got to happen. It's got to be a picture of him kissing a dude. Anybody else in SM? I think that's probably it, right? Boa, maybe. Boa's pregnant. I don't know.
There's no really big SM groups anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's sad. That's a sad day. But yeah, well, I mean, YG...
Just shoot down every group.
Oh, we're just going to shoot now? All right, well, let's move on to the second half of the podcast where Josh tells us what his favorite song of the last 2 weeks is.
So my favorite song of the past 2 weeks is Zion.T with Yanghwa Bridge. Now, Zion.T, as you guys, long-term listeners, should know, I'm a big fan of Zion.T and his kind of producing style. It's a little bit more soft, kind of R&B-ish. And this song is very classic Zion.T. The song itself, I'll give you some background. Zion.T apparently is from like a poorer childhood, and he had 2 older sisters, and he was the youngest son. And his father worked as a taxi driver. And... so Yanghwa Bridge apparently was a bridge going from Seoul to where Zion.T like lived, and so when he'd call his father and say, "Oh, where are you?" his dad would say, "Oh, I'm on my way home." Right? So this song is kind of a very personal song. Oh. That's why I kind of chose it. I kind of can feel like the emotion from it, the lyrics, and great job. Lowen or One the K, sorry, with your subtitles,
only group
helping Chingu's like Steven over here understand what the song is about.
Still don't know why fucking other groups don't do that.
Yeah, but I mean, this song was really, really sad, and it made me feel kind of good sad. Yeah. Because Zion.T is like, you know, I have money now, you know, let's be happy. But on the flip side, it's like Zion.T is probably really busy. Probably can't see his family all that much, so it's kind of like, it's got that kind of bittersweet feeling for me. Yeah.
Like a lonely kind of sound to the song. I mean, definitely without the lyrics, I didn't think the song was particularly that good. I thought it was very Zion.T-ish, but I didn't think it branched out to be super catchy or anything. But I know you definitely like this style more than me.
Yeah, I do. This is my style. Like, I kind of like the more K-pop R&B-ish sounds.
Yeah. I mean, I like a certain type of K-pop R&B.
Yeah.
But not so much this type. And you know, the music video is him wearing his stupid hats that he always wears and his old school glasses that he always wears. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, without the lyrics and the meaning behind the song, I didn't really find it that special.
Yeah.
But you should go watch this video, and you can read the lyrics because 1DK is the best, and you probably enjoy it at least, even for the one time.
Yeah, this is. I don't really have too much to say about this song, but this. I mean, me and Steven had a lot of speculation about this song. Like, apparently there's a bridge in Korea that has really, really high suicide rates. Like, people jump off the bridge. And we looked it up, and it's actually not this bridge. It would have been, like, even more kind of...
Yeah, at first when you mentioned that, I was like... Because I knew there was that bridge, right? Yeah. But I didn't know what it was called. And so I thought, like, his dad killed himself on this bridge. And I was like, damn, that's fucking...
That'd be fucking sad. Hurts. Yeah, that'd be fucking sad.
So it's a little less sad because that didn't happen, but still you can really feel kind of the emotion in his voice. But I think for a lot of his songs, you can hear he brings a certain kind of twang and a certain kind of emotion to his voice. So I really don't like his hats though.
Yeah, he's like the Pharrell of.
No, I don't know where you're going with that.
Pharrell always has those funky ass like. Smokey the Bear hats, man.
Yeah, but, he's black and he can pull it off.
He cannot pull that hat off. Don't tell me he can pull that hat off.
He's black. Dude, Pharrell, that dude hasn't aged in like 35 years.
That's very true.
All right? He looked good.
Pharrell is a vampire.
He's probably a vampire. He's probably got a picture somewhere. All right, well, next, we're going to talk about the other kind of R&B, not R&B, the more hip-hop kind of song. Which, this is the ballad kind of 2 weeks. Usually there's actually a lot of hip-hop. But the last 2 or 3 episodes we've done, there really hasn't been that much.
Not too much, yeah. You're right.
But this song is by Raina, featuring Kanto from Troy, with their song, You and Me. Now, Raina is like the new hotness in the last couple
with
this year.
Night's Dream.
Yeah, like
she's the new Soyu.
She's like the new Soyu, but she does like so much stuff, right? Like, After School hasn't done that much this year, but she
Orange
does
Caramel.
Sexy in After School. She does quirky and weird in Orange Caramel, and she does this solo stuff, and of course, Sonny's song,
Midsummer's Night
Dream was insane. So she was like, for her first, this is technically her debut song as a solo artist. I thought this song was pretty good. Kanto's voice always surprised me because that voice just doesn't go with his face, in the slightest.
It's like you put what the.
Yeah, it's really weird.
A little bit like that.
Although he looks much older in this music video than I've seen him in like Troy stuff.
I think it's because he's showing his forehead.
Maybe he's not wearing like weird ass shit like he is in that Troy video last episode. Yeah. But I don't know. I even in Midsummer's Night Dream, at first when I heard it, I didn't really like Raina's voice. And I still feel that way when I hear some of her songs, where I'm just like, something's not really, I'm not down with it. But after listening to the song a couple more times, I'm like, it's a pretty decent song. Like I think it's
fungus song.
Yeah, I think it's like it's good in the way that I like a lot of Verbal Jint songs. Like I really kind of like Kanto's flow. It's got, of course, that girl in there. But I think it's not as good as a good Verbal Jint song.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to agree with you on pretty much most of those things. What really kind of confused me is that I thought that this song really should have been like Kanto featuring Raina. Because he raps a lot in this song.
Yeah.
Not saying that it's bad, but it's a little bit
like in the days of this. It's always So You X something or So You and something because they quote unquote share even billing.
Collaboration. This should be a Raina X Kanto, not featuring, because Kanto raps for like half the song at least.
Probably more.
Like Raina only sings like the hook and maybe like one verse.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah.
I think a lot, even skimming the YouTube comments, it was like, what? Like, is this Raina's song? Like, I thought she's had a lot of songs. And it's like, well, no, this is technically her first solo song, but not really solo.
But yeah, for me, this is kind of like a Verbal Jintish song. This song's obviously about a breakup. Thank you, Lowen 1DK, for the lyrics, the translations. But the title in English doesn't make any sense, but the title in Korean, 장난인 거 알아, means like, I know this is a joke. is what kind of directly translates to.
Oh, not you and me?
Yeah, that's not what it means.
That's weird. Like, I would have assumed it was like a crappy translation, direct translation of English for it to be you and me. No. But from what you're saying, they pulled that out of their ass to call it you and me. They're trying to be all
crafty with the English naming. But yeah, the song's about like, I know you're joking around. You know, we can't be breaking up. And this music video kind of goes hand in hand with the song title. And I'm with you on this. It's a good song. It'll probably get better the more I listen to it, but I'm not in a rush to like go and like download it and put it on my playlist, which is kind of sad because my playlist is kind of void right now.
It's been a rough 2 months, I think. Really, I actually. There were actually some songs I liked. I just didn't like enough to like download right away, and so I forgot.
Same.
Like, the last time I downloaded, and still the last time I downloaded was Exceed's Up and Down. And that's still a damn good song.
That's a good song. I like that song.
I actually saw like a GIF of one of the Exit girls on Reddit. She was like scared of a bee, and so she just bailed on singing in the middle of the song, and everyone is like, "Oh my god, this girl's so cute," and everyone's like. Exit. Here's more. And it's like
Exit because of that song. Like, it wasn't really a big hit, in Korea, but it's gotten
definitely
really
got
popular.
their name out there,
and it's gotten them more popular. Definitely.
Still crazy to me that Bestie used to be part of Exit.
Yeah, that one girl was part of Exit. Yeah.
3 of them. 3 of the 4.
Yeah.
Although I recently was listening to Bestie at work. And I listened to the very first song, and it is one of the worst fucking songs I've ever heard in my life. It's called Pit-a-Pat. I don't know if you remember this.
I've heard it.
I remember watching that video with Kelvin.
Oh my god!
And I was like, "This is fucking awful."
That song is pretty terrible.
Yeah, like one of the worst debuts I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, it was definitely like after I heard that song, I was like, "No wonder Bestie wasn't known." Yeah.
And it shows you just how, like, I actually had this thought, which was, do K-pop groups even matter? Like, does it matter, or is it only the song that matters? And I really, because I don't mean like you can throw like 5 random dudes and give them a good song. That's not what I mean. I just mean like, does it really matter
what kind of artists?
What kind of like what they really look like? Because they're all good looking, right?
Yeah,
they're all pretty.
People, yeah.
They all kind of, for the most part, I'm talking about general. The most of them have the same dancing skills and the same singing skills. Like the only thing that sets them apart usually is who writes their song and whether it's good.
Kind of, yeah.
And that's sad, but also that's how it works, right?
It's a little bit different in America when you think about it. Yeah, because some artists just sing that much better than
True. But like, I mean, there are those in Korea too. But you know, like when I think of what's super popular in America right now, I have a hard time because I haven't listened to American. I didn't even listen to American music when I was back home. But like, there's so many kind of generic boys and there's so many kind of generic girls that are just like, I'm a white girl and I sing this song.
Actually, yeah, I feel that way too, Steven. Like, it doesn't really matter, because most people, if you're gonna become a singer, you have to sing well enough to a certain degree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some food for thought.
Yeah.
All you This Week in K-pop listeners.
And I just found out today, this is so tangent, I'm sorry guys, but I just found out today that, you know, that All About the Bass song is number 1 right now. And I was like, I heard that song like 8 months ago. And I was like, what the hell is this song? Nobody was like listening to that song. And then I found out that today it's number 1. I'm like, how the fuck does that work? It was like so long ago. Like it beat out Taylor Swift, it beat out Anaconda, and I'm like,
I feel like
how does music work in America? It's so slow.
It's so strange. I feel kind of like a hipster now.
I knew it before.
Because in America, I listen to like more indie-ish music. I didn't really listen to like really too mainstream-ish pop music. But
that's pretty hipster.
Now that I'm in Korea, I'm even more hipster because some of these songs, I'm like, I heard this song. Like when I went back to America, I heard some of the songs that were on the radio like the pop way back, right? Yeah. And I was like, oh, they still have this song on the radio? And my brother was like, what are you talking about? This just came out like a month ago or like 2 weeks ago. I was like, I heard this in Korea like 3 months ago, really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean like that sounds pretty hipstery, but
it is hipstery.
And what I said also kind of sounds hipstery, but I didn't mean it that way. I guess I mean it like in K-pop, it's like a music video comes out, that shit is everywhere in less than a week. It's like Girls' Day released a song today.
It cycles so quickly.
Which we're not going to talk about until the next episode. But that Girls' Day song is probably going to be heard at the cafe tomorrow.
Yeah.
But like in America, it's so slow. Oh. Like it shocked me today when I was like,
that's what I was trying to get at. Like, even though I'm not quote unquote a hipster and like follow music, like music is my oxygen. Like, I still hear some of these. Yeah, that's hipster saying like, oh, if I had no music, I couldn't breathe. Like, but I'm saying like it's so slow to get like to number one spot that me, like apart from that culture, I can hear that song way back, right?
Sure.
And it's just now gaining popular. It's really, really strange to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the story with Gangnam Style. Like, I remember a lot of people said, Gangnam Style came out in Korea. It was really big in Korea. Yeah. And then, like, 4 months later, they went home for vacation in America. And that's when it started getting popular in America. So they just listened to Gangnam Style for, like, half a year. Because it was, I mean, granted, that's, like, transatlantic. That's across the world. But, like, I think America, I mean, it's so big. And the way their system works is really a lot different than Korea. Anyways, let's move on to the last song.
Our last song
of the main section, of course,
is a chingo of ours with the guitar. Roy Kim.
No. It's Roy Kim.
Roy Kim
Thank you.
With Home. Sorry. Any chingu with a guitar, we have to say in a Texas accent, apparently.
No, just Roy Kim.
Somebody is a Nazi.
Just Roy Kim.
Somebody is a Nazi.
That doesn't even make any sense with being Nazis. I'm not German. And German people don't talk in about Roy Kim.
Forcing me to say things a certain way.
His name is just so perfect for that Texan accent. I just can't help it.
Roy Kim? Really? Roy
Kim? It's the Roy. I'm telling you, I have never met a non-white person, a non-country white person named Roy.
Really? I know a Roy and he's Asian.
Okay, well, you're from California. I'm from Texas. Okay? All the Asians in my city are all named, regular names.
Like Cletus?
No Cletuses, but if his name was Cletus Kim, I would also say it like that. Prospector Kim.
Prospector Kim.
Anyways, Roy Kim. Roy Kim. I mean, since Roy Kim's debut, I mean, even when Roy Kim debuted, like, there was a giant influx in dudes with guitars, and it's even more so now. Pretty much every winner of every K-pop show is now a guy with a guitar.
Yeah.
But Roy Kim, he had a really, really big year last year. He had some really huge songs, like Boom 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 or Spring Spring Spring. Boom, boom. I think there was like 2 different songs. I don't know. I think he had 2 songs that was like a repeating 3-word thing. But anyways, he came back. He released actually 3 music videos in the last week. We're going to talk about his main one called Home.
Yeah.
And, there was a lot of ballads. This was my favorite of the, 15 ballads that we listened to. Partially because of the music video is actually really sweet and really nice, I thought. Yeah. I didn't have to look up a Wikipedia entry to figure out what was going on in this one. And, Roy Kim's voice is... I just really like his voice. It's got a lot of, sound in it. I don't know. It's got a lot of.
It's got that acoustic flavor. Like his voice goes really, really well with guitar. Yeah. You know how some singers their voice goes really, really well with piano. His voice accompanies the guitar very well. Yeah, is the way I like.
I'm down with that. I think I definitely like this one more than you, and I'm not even a ballady guy.
Yeah,
but
I mean, granted, I like this song. It was a good song, but. It's not one of the songs that I'm rushing to go and, kind of download or listen to nonstop.
Yeah. Well, I thought, we might as well put him in there. If you do like ballads, he's got a bunch of other songs. The album's called Home. We're not going to talk about him, but there's another guy called Bernard Park.
Yeah.
Which is also do with a guitar. He also sings ballads. So if you like ballads, you maybe want to look up Bernard Park. But I don't know. I think that's it then. I think it's time to move into our lightning round.
Actually, I want to talk about this video.
Oh, damn it. Right.
So this video is really, 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 really well done. It's about a family obviously doing good deeds. They don't have a lot of money, but they're they're getting by.
They're all good people.
They're all good people. It's evidenced by the music video. And the daughter, like, gets a whole bunch of, like, money as a promotion or, like, a raise or something. And she throws it at this, like, Gangnam Oma. Like, this Gangnam mom. Because she hit her grandpa. And it's like...
a flaming bitch.
And it was great, but I was like, sue that bitch! She hit that guy in a pedestrian park? Like...
Yeah, in Korea, like, you always yield to pedestrians. Like... My girlfriend would literally, she would just fucking run out and be like, they're supposed to stop for me. And I'm like, don't do that. That's not how it works. You don't do that. But in Korea, you apparently are supposed to do that.
Mm.
So, I think in Korea, technically, it was his fault for being old and crippled.
Yeah. Anyways, lightning round. Actually, lightning doesn't make a sound. Thunder is the sound that follows lightning.
I thought lightning makes a little sound.
No, lightning obviously makes the sound with the crackle, but you don't hear the sound until seconds later.
Oh, right.
Which goes as thunder, lightning, thunder. Science is.
Yeah. All right. Well, lightning round. We're gonna start lightning round with a girl. Her name is Nam Young-ju, and I think she was a top 10 finalist on K-Pop Star 3. Which was won by Bernard Park, by the way. Yeah. With her debut song, was called Fragile and Kind. Now, I put this song in here just because there was a lot of ballads. There weren't that many songs that I decently enjoyed, and I actually decently enjoyed this song.
I also decently enjoyed this song. The music video was beh.
Yeah, they're kind of like forcing this girl to dance sexily, but she can't do it. She can't do it very well. As you said, there's some... weird ass moves in there.
Yep.
You were chuckling. You were laughing at your own joke so hard earlier today. I don't even remember what the joke was.
She has a point where she's like blowjobs and then like dance like this.
Dance
like,
party.
Yay blowjob.
So if you want to see the yay blowjob dance move,
she goes like blowjob and she's like yay.
As all girls do, don't they? I don't know. I've never seen it.
Never seen that in my life.
But anyways, I thought her voice actually, pretty cool.
Yeah.
But the kind of image of her didn't really match the voice.
Yeah. But good for you, I guess.
Yeah.
Our next song's by our chingu J Park with Nana.
It's not my chingu.
It's not your chingu.
Hashtag not my chingu.
Hashtag not my chingu. That's rude.
Yeah.
That's rude. But J Park, I think this song came out a while ago.
Yeah, it was part of his last album, the something album.
I think it's not the one with Promise on it.
It's the one with Promise on it.
The one with Promise, a lot of those songs are like remixed and he put on the album from like before.
Maybe the Promise one's a mini album. It's from his last full album.
Yeah, it was before the Promise album, but he put it on the Promise album, I think. But this song, it's a pretty good song. I liked it. I liked it when it was released. We didn't really want to talk about it because it's kind of an older song. It's just got a music video now, and the music video is shit.
I mean, it's a very American music video.
It's not even a good American music video.
It's not. Okay, it's not a good American music. It's not. It's like an American music video from like 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It's just him like having fun drinking at a party with some girls. He's got some honeys. He's got some cars. He's so thug. Like it's kind of one of those videos. And
he's dancing.
Yeah, I kind of we've said this when we were talking about the Promise. Not the Promise. What was the one after the Promise? The Michael Jackson one. Yeah, So Good. Where like I like Jay Park when he dances and sings pop songs. Mm-hmm. All right. I don't like Jay Park when he thinks he's like a gangster
he's like
dude.
Tupac incarnate.
Yeah. And that's what the song is actually kind of a mix, like halfway point I think between his like straight up rapping songs and his pop songs. And I actually thought the song was okay. It's
pretty good, yeah.
It was okay.
But you ain't Tupac, baby. You ain't Tupac.
But every time I see people act like that, like in videos, I just want to destroy them. I just want to punch him so hard in the face. He'll probably kill me because
he's got a lot of friends.
But I just want to. I just want it so bad. Anyways, now it's time for our K-pop boy group party time. We're gonna start with Boyfriend with their song Witch. Now, number one, I need somebody to explain to me why the fuck this song is called Witch and not Vampire.
One day vampires, obviously.
Yeah, they're not a single witch. Maybe that girl that kind of kung fu'd them at the end was a witch. I don't know.
I would call her a vampire hunter, not a witch.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention to this video that much, sadly. I mean, this kind of continues Boyfriend's change from Obsession, which is to be a more like dark into this era kind of boy group. You know?
Yeah, if you're not hip hop, then you got to be weird.
Yeah, you got to be dark. You got to be kind of strange. And you know, if I'm ever watching a video, especially a boy group, and I can point out all the generic kind of, you know, checklists: dude in a floppy hat, dude wearing kind of like buckles,
rap verse.
Rap verse. It's like, oh right, well, whatever.
Guy wearing too much eye makeup, like, just very easy to see.
There's one Boyfriend song that Boyfriend that I really, really, really like. Oh my gosh!
Are you sure it wasn't 100%?
I'm pretty sure it's not one. I'm gonna actually look this up right now just to give something positive to say about Boyfriend. I mean, you talk about.
So this song, actually, I thought it wasn't a terrible song. To be honest, it was very generic though. I thought it kind of sounded like, you know, boy group A or boy group B, right? That it just sounded like every other boy group, which I can't really knock them for. But seriously, you need to. I mean, I can't really say this, but I really wish that these boy groups and girl groups that are just coming out by the dozen would like do something to distinguish themselves, which is kind of career suicide if you think about it. Like if you do something that people don't like, then you're done. Right? Yeah, it's easier to be safe and kind of just ride your fan group until maybe you do something that people like, and then. I
mean, I don't blame Boyfriend for doing that. Like it makes all the sense in the world. So you see the trend coming, you change that trend. You know, if people eat it up, you might as well do it. And people are eating it up, so you know I understand that. I just, as a, you know, I just don't like that. You know. But I think, you know, a lot of our listeners really kind of enjoy that. Like, there's new boy groups all the time, and they're just like, oh, man, this one's interesting, or this one's interesting. You read it in the YouTube comments all the time, where it's like, oh, it's interesting. And for me, I'm like...
It's not really interesting.
Is it interesting? Like, it's like, what? They all sound the same. But, you know.
Yeah.
Many people say that about some of the stuff, especially Brave Sound songs. Yeah. And many people say
Brave
that
Sounds,
about...
Okay, let's be real. Brave Sound songs all sound the same. Me and Steven... admit to that. We make jokes about it, like.
But the thing is, not all the groups look the same.
Yeah.
That's also an important distinction. Is that for me, a lot of boy groups look the same. They have the same archetypes, and they have the same-ish kind of dance moves now.
I think that's kind of like the difference. Like we kind of tend to like certain producers, right? Like I like the Zion.Ts. Who else do I like? Crush. I like what's that Chingu Radi. I like Roddy, right? Yeah, whenever they put out songs, like 90% of the time, I like that song. Steven likes, you know, Brave Sound, Double Sidekick, right? But certain types of their songs, right? But
I like brand new music stuff.
Yeah, we both like brand new music, right? Yeah. And that kind of is the difference. We kind of like
sounds and not.
We'll like the same. Looks. We like the same sounds, but we have certain looks that we don't like and certain looks that we are open to. Right, so
I mean, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Which is, I do think not people care about looks. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I think people are very interested in certain images, and we're just not an image person. Yeah. We're more on the audio kind of side of things.
Yeah, which I mean, it's pretty obvious when you ask us, oh, do you really like Girls' Day? And we're like, Girls' Day. But Girls' Day in Korea is just fucking nuts. People love Girls' Day here. It's kind of ridiculous.
I really think I'm being fucking hypnotized because, like, there's so many songs, especially Girls' Day songs, I just heard so many times that, like, I'm like, I enjoy it now. I can't help it. Like, I enjoy it. Like, the Sister, like, song. Like, I've heard Touch My Body so many goddamn times. Now I'm like, it's a pretty damn good song. But I know for a fact, we have it on record, that I was like, this ain't that very good. Like,
the song is, I'm disappointed. Ago. Yeah. I'm the same way, Steve.
Like, seriously, we're slowly being hypnotized.
We're being hypnotized.
But I guess that's the hallmark of a good song, because there's plenty of boy group songs that I hear. I'm just like, still not good. Sorry.
BTS songs, Steven admitted to me,
I did.
Yeah, you were like,
I did. There, like,
the song I don't even like it, but I don't even that's stuck in my mind. For the
I've never once said I don't like BTS. I've said very specifically their image is something I don't enjoy.
Okay, I grant you that.
But that Dangerous song, man. Sometimes I just start singing it, like in the shower, when I'm walking to school. But only the chorus, because the rest of that song is like googly garbage.
It's just a hot bag of garbage.
Yeah, but that's how most songs are in general.
Yeah,
like, you know, it's the chorus that matters. Anyway, speaking of guy groups, let's move on to the second guy group.
So our second guy group is VIXX with Error.
I wish their whole song was like Annyeonghaseyo, we are
VIXX.
What'd you think about VIXX?
So this song, super generic. Again, before we started talking about this, I kind of had to like sit down for a couple seconds, and I was like, which one is which? I'm like, oh yeah, this song is this song. So VIXX song is about the robots, right? Because it's Error. One was about vampires, one was about robots. K-pop for you. K-pop.
Yeah.
Super generic. A lot of CG involved in the MV. It looked pretty well done. I have to say that. But that was pretty much the only positive things I had to say about it.
I think the Witch song is actually... I think the Error song is way more generic sounding than the Witch song.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Especially hearing them back to back. Like, Error is hands down just K-pop, where it's like, boom, 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 and there's this, like, electronic music in the back. Like, that is Error down to a T. Boyfriends, which actually kind of changed it up a little bit.
One had, like, the generic police siren in it, I think, in the beginning of the song. And I was like, is this that Bestie song? Like Love Options?
I don't know, actually. That might be Error. That might be the next one we're talking about. I don't know.
I don't even remember anymore.
But I will say, production-wise, I thought the VIXX video was actually, did some neat things. I didn't particularly, like,
all of it.
I wasn't, like, in love with it. But you said the graphics were pretty good. I mean, I like the makeup kind of design to make them look like robots. But other than that, like, for me, VIXX is like, they found their path and they just keep on getting stranger. They have, like, their horror side. Now they went to robots for some reason.
This song reminded me of a crappy Big Bang's Monster.
For the record, I didn't like Big Bang's Monster's video at all. So,
I like Big Bang's Monster, the song.
Well, the song was
the music video, I wasn't too big a fan of. But this, like, concept and the sound, everything of it, like, really reminded me of Big Bang's Monster.
Maybe. But it actually really surprises me how big VIXX is getting. Like, this video almost got like 1 million views. A lot of my kids, actually, my middle school students, like VIXX. And I was surprised. None of them know who Boyfriend is. But none of them know GOT7 is. Like, I played them GOT7's A, and they were like, who the fuck is this?
I'm like, oh, that's rude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hear the F word all the time, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought of the 3 songs, boy songs we're going to talk about, Error was definitely the most generic by far.
Definitely, yeah.
Like, you can really hear the beat by beat by beat and the electronic music on this. But let's talk about the new group this week. And that's a group from, they gave up on M Black, but J-Tune was like, we'll start again with their new band, Madtown, with their song, YOLO. Number one, they didn't even use YOLO correctly in this video.
It's not even correct.
It's not, like, it doesn't make any... Okay, I just want to get this out of the way first. This is totally neurotic. I know it doesn't make any sense if you think too hard about it, but I really, really hate the chorus in this video. Like, none of the words make any sense together. Like, I was reading the translation, it's like YOLO, right, left, front,
back. I thought it was a Konami code.
Peanut butter jelly. Like,
I was like, did I unlock something now by singing this chorus?
It was just like random word after random word to kind of make like a catchy sounding chorus, but like it just didn't work.
No, it really reminds me of, so there's this sketch comedy show that you guys should really watch. It's called Key and Peele. Maybe a lot of you already know about it, but Key and Peele, there's this one sketch of them doing like they're a funk band from the 1960s or something, and they're just saying like the most random ass stuff, but it's a really, really catchy song, and this song kind of reminds me of that. Like, they're just saying nonsense in the chorus.
They're just saying shit. Well, although speaking of which, remember that song I showed you the last podcast episode? I don't think we talked about it on the podcast. The funk band 19.
Oh, Wolfpack.
Yeah, Wolfpack. I mean, in that song 1905,
1612.
Fuck me. Like that guy in the song literally just says random shit, right? But his voice is so good and the song is so good. I'm like, that's fine. That is not true with this song YOLO. Like really sounds like some songwriter was like, I'm gonna be hip. I've seen this YOLO thing going on in America. I'm gonna put in this song. I don't know what the fuck it means, but I'm gonna put it in there. Like for me, I think there could have been a really catchy chorus in there. It really could have been in.
It really could have fit.
Like, but okay, that reminds me. The chorus is also not really sang. It's like chanted. I don't know.
I feel like I'm being hypnotized.
I don't know if that's like the correct way to say it, but it's not like a chorus where people are singing. It sounds like they stripped away all the music and they just had these guys kind of chant. Okay, not Gregorian chanted, but they're kind of just like saying the chorus, and it just doesn't sound right to me.
It's really bad.
But what makes me sad, though, what makes me really sad, is that two of these members, Madtown, are Pro C.
Yeah.
And Pro C had like these really awesome R&B songs.
And I really liked them when they came out. Steven, I don't think you also really liked them.
I was just listening to this song with Ailey the other day. Like, they're so good. And then when they formed this band, they just genericked like so hard. I was just like, ugh.
I really wish Pro C had just gone like them as a duo and just kept like gathering like featuring artists to kind of do things on.
I really hope I really hope they continue with the Pro C stuff.
Yeah.
Because that was really good. But after that kind of angry tangent, I will say though, as a debut, I thought the debut was pretty polished, and well kind of like, I think they didn't do the super generic style. Like, I think they had this like weird mix between like a GOT7 and a BTS.
Yeah.
They had this like kind of fun at times, but also we're kind of a little like skater boy, kind of a little hard kind of looking
I really
outfits.
wish they went one way or the other, to be honest.
I actually kind of like their outfits. Like, it was like what normal, maybe kind of J Parky guys would wear. Like, the outfits actually weren't super K-poppy. But like the BTS's outfits on the other hand are really K-poppy.
You never see guys wearing that on the streets.
Yeah. I mean, but if you are BTS, I mean, sure you can.
Yeah, I mean, BTS wears, they're supposed to. Yeah.
But just, you called him Madtown, your song is YOLO, like, I'm sorry. Maybe we came in with prejudices.
Yeah, I almost didn't want to listen to that song, like, at all. But
at least use YOLO right.
I know, goddamn.
But Pro C, please.
Thanks, Pro C, please.
If you've never listened to Pro C, look at it right now.
Pro C featuring Ailey. Go.
Yeah.
Go look it up.
It's Pro-C. Well, with that, we are done.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out to be kind of a long podcast again, but
rambled a little bit.
Not nearly as long, though, as our last two, I think. Because our last two is like 2 hours long.
But this usually happens when we kind of have like a lighter week. We kind of just pepper in some tangents.
Yeah. I'm hoping kind of that we're going to get some good songs, but usually kind of the end of the year is kind of, there's not that many gangbuster songs.
No.
It's really cold in Korea. People want to kind of stay inside.
Expect a lot of ballads.
It's going to happen.
And when spring warms up, expect a lot of like love song ballads.
Expect to hear fucking Cherry Blossom again.
Yeah, it's fucking.
Shit. I mean, you guys probably don't live in Korea, but that Busker song, God. Cherry Blossoms.
It's a good song.
It's a great song, but it's like, when it's Christmas time, you start hearing Christmas music, but like it's like two months too early or 3 months too early.
It's like goddamn October. Santa Claus ain't coming to town for another 3 months, Chingu.
That happens with that Busker song. But that's it for episode 57. I forgot to mention this kind of in the beginning, but I've been working kind of not crazy hard, but I put in some time in trying to, because I haven't updated thisweekinkpop.com for like 9 months.
Long time.
So I actually kind of, I now was like paying for the Squarespace the whole time to kind of upkeep it. So I canceled that a while ago, and I put like a little This Week in K-Pop kind of section in my website, kpopreleases.com. So I'm going to put a little link somewhere in this YouTube video for you to go check that out. It's really kind of just an easier way to see the YouTube video and then an easy way to see all the music videos that we've linked toward. You can, of course, Josh does put in the annotations in the YouTube video, usually the day or two after we upload it. Yeah. But if you want to see all the music videos kind of in one place, kpopreleases.com. I'm telling you, just go to that website, kpopreleases.com, kpopreleases.com. / This Week in K-Pop. That's it. Next episode. I'm not sure, but I am going to America.
Yeah.
For a week. I'm pretty sure we can record before I leave for America, but that's in about a week and a half. Yeah. So I'm kind of think we might wait until after I come back from America.
And just do kind of a month recap because...
it won't be a month. It'll only be like a 2.5 week. Yeah, maybe a 3 week. Maybe a 3 week thing. I'm sorry because our schedule's so crappy in general, but I don't think... Because I'm going to actually have a lot of things I have to take care of and make sure I prepare before I leave for America.
So there's a good chance that we're leaning towards doing a 3 week.
It'll probably be in 3 weeks.
Yeah, rather than a week and a half.
Yeah, maybe a little less than 3 weeks, but it'll probably be around there.
Yeah.
So until next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.